Morning Year 3s, welcome to Maths, and our first task today is to get our arithmetic done. And we've got some 7 times and 8 times tables in bronze, adding in silver, and some balancing sums in gold. Hopefully you've got your books set up into your three little columns, and get those started. I'm going to pause the video now, and then we'll go through them in a few moments. So hopefully you've paused your video and you've restarted it once you've got as many as you can done, and we'll go through the answers. There we go. The first few there in the set are actually in the 7 times table, but you can use your known facts for those. You've got your 2 times table, 3 times table, 4s and 5s, and it's a really good strategy of knowing some of those tables that you don't know. For instance, if you've got 8, if you don't know 2 times 8, then you can do 8 lots of 2, and you get exactly the same answer. So it's just finding ways to get the right answers there. So here we go for some silver ones. You can tick those off. Some of those you have to go over and bridge what we call bridge the 10, so that the ones there add up to more than 10. So you have to increase the 10's column number. So that's a way of exchanging if you're thinking about your place value there. And then we've got the gold ones, which you've got those symbols there. We've got the less than, greater than and equal symbols to help you balance out those sums. So if you do one side and then the other side, and then you can work out from those which symbol to put in and make the whole thing work really well. Okay, so starter now. I'm going to read it through. You can pause the video. I said I'm going to pause the video. I can't pause the video here. You have to do that, and then we'll restart it again and put the answer in. So Hannah used 20 metres of fabric to make pillowcases. She used 3 times that amount to make the sheets. So we have a bar model here, which some of you are doing really well with, and I can see some beautifully neat bar models in some of the photos that have been sent in. So well done. Those books are looking amazing. So we've got pillowcases. We've got the 1 bar at the top with that amount of fabric in, which is 20 metres. Then 3 times that to make the sheets. If you add, and it says how much fabric did she use for sheets and pillowcases. So it's not just asking you for sheets, it's asking you for the whole thing. So you've got to remember to add in the pillowcase value as well. So pausing that. And then you can restart, and we'll put the answer in, which is 80 metres. So if we look at the sheets, first of all, if we look at how much you use for the sheets, we've got 20, add 20, add 20, which is 20, add 20 is 40, add 20 is 60, and then we've got to add in the final pillowcase value, which is another 20, so 60 add 20 is 80. And we must remember to put that unit of measure in. It's really easily forgotten. But we relate back to the question, how much fabric did she use? 80 metres. If we just say 80, it could be, it could be anything. Okay, we don't want it to, we want to get the right answer. So this is a cool starter now. Marley has this longer garden than Luca, who's got a little short garden. So we've got Marley with a longer garden. Marley's garden measures 10 metres, and these two measurements say 12 metres and 3 metres. And then it says choose which measurement describes Luca's garden. Well, Luca's, Marley's is longer, then Luca's is the shorter. So Luca's garden must be the shortest measurement. Oh, and I've done that wrong there. I put it as 12. Oh dear, that's not right, is it? No. So that's the right answer there, and so that's a bit of a mistake, but do forgive me, it happens. Okay, so how can we find out which is the heaviest and the lightest? So you're going to talk about this this morning, and lots of different ways, and different ways that you might have thought of. You can have a little talk about it. What might we use? Where might you find that? You know, you know, use all your knowledge about heavy and light, so that you can you know, use your understanding and develop those ideas. If you've got a grown-up with you, talk to them. If not, don't worry, you can talk aloud, and you can pause the video and do that if you'd like to. Okay, so one of the things I noticed on here, that very, very faintly on this one here, I might even be able to see an amount on there, because sometimes packaging has the amount that's the weight on there actually measured on there. And you know, there's lots of different ways that you can do this. So let's have a little look. So how can we find out which is the heaviest and which is the lightest? Well, we can use weighing scales. And I know when I'm looking at fruit in the supermarket, that sometimes I might weigh them to find out, you know, roughly how much I'm going to pay for a, you know, a big bunch of bananas. Think, oh yeah, I'm really into those, and just to make sure that they're not like really, really expensive. So I might weigh them and find out exactly roughly how much, you know, how much I'm gonna spend. So we can use weighing scales for that. And it says here that the pointer hand on a set of scales goes to the value. This is if you've got that sort of scale. Now, lots of people now have scales that don't look like that. We have a lot of electronic scales, because the price of those has come right down, and they're really just, they're so easy to use. And you've got the electronic scale, you've got the digital numbers come up, but they will use the same types of measurement. They will use we've got on here, I can see that one pointer going round to this value. What's on that? What can you see around there? It's quite faint actually. We've got 100, and then here we've got 200, and it says here the bag of crisps weighs about 200 grams, because this is the dial from the middle. And this, when you push the put something on the scales here, old-fashioned system, it's like a spring that pushes this down, and that automatically works this dial. Now, it usually goes round in a clockwise direction. That's not to say it can't go the other way. There are scales where they're not like that. There's lots of different types of scales. There's balance scales. There's electronic scales. There's the scales used in a lot of different places. There are medical scales where you might have a bar and weights that go along the top. Lots of different types of scale there. So this is the big watermelon, and that one is saying that it is, well, see if you can have a read of that. It's a bit faint, but have a go. So we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 kilograms, so it's pointing to the 1 kilogram. The watermelon weighs about 1 kilogram. And then we've got the granulated sugar here, and again it's a little bit faint, but 0, 1, 2, 3 kilograms here. So we've got some weights happening in grams, and some things being weighed in grams, and some things being weighed in kilograms. And you can see as well where the 1 kilogram is on with these scales. They're sort of in different places as well. We've got 2 kilograms down here. This one, 2 kilograms are over here, and 2 kilograms are here. So they don't always sort of start and finish. The scales differ. They start and finish in different places. So these are different scales. They're not exactly the same. This one has 500. It finishes on 500 grams here. This one is on 6 kilograms, and this one is on 4. So each one of those scales is a little bit different to the next one. So which is the heaviest? This one's the heaviest because it's coming in at 3 kilograms. This one, even though this number is higher, the value of those grams is a lot smaller, is a lot lighter than the value of a kilogram. It's exactly the same as the length of a centimetre is a lot smaller than the length of a metre, and the length of a metre is a lot smaller than the length of a kilometre. So grams and kilograms relate more to meters and kilometers, so that's the 1,000 difference between the two, so than the 100, which is the centimeters to meters. So that kilogram for kilometers is really helpful for kilograms as well, because we start to think about that 1,000 difference, and we'll learn a lot more about that as this this new mass and weight topic in maths carries on. So 200 grams is a lot lighter, and so 200 grams is lighter than 3 kilograms. So we say that the mass of a bag of sugar is about 3 kilograms there. Okay. And mass and weight at this stage are sort of interchangeable. You'll learn more about the difference between that when you go up into possibly at the end of, I would say at the end of year 4, maybe into year 5. Okay, so how heavy is each thing? And you can write some of these down if you want to. The apple, you can have a little look at that. And again, we're going to have a look at the scale, and we can see straight the way round, and it's a marked, what we call a marked scale on here. So we've got unmarked ones, which are the little ones with no numbers on, and then we've got the marked one, which is round at 100 grams. So this apple weighs 100 grams. So this one is, let's have a look, it starts from 0 here, 100, 200, 300, 400 grams. So this one is 400g, 400 grams. The box, this is coming in at, this is 1 kilogram, 2 kilograms. So it's going to be 2 kg. And the last one is a bag of sugar, and this one is 1 kilogram, 2 kilograms again. So kg. Now when we write the grams and the kilograms, we always write them with a lowercase g and a lowercase kg to show those amounts. Okay, they're not capital letters. A bit like the meters, centimeters and kilometers, they all use lowercase letters. Okay. So steps to success today. You get you have a little dance at the end of it with your little watermelons, your little round it. I love a little dance at the end to say that we've been successful. You can, to get onto this, to have a dance with your watermelons, you have to look at the central pointer hand in the middle of the dial on the scales, and then you follow the scale on the round dial all the way round to where the hand is, and then you're reading the marked measurements. They're all marked today where that hand points to. Write the number, and if you've got grams on there you can write a G, and if you've got kilograms on there you can write a kg. Okay, and there aren't that many to do. Okay, so, and they're a little bit fuzzy. I do apologise for it. They are a little bit dark, but if you follow the numbers round you should be able to make out what they are. Okay, have a good go at that. If you really are struggling, I come back to this. I've boosted it up as high as I can. This is a cabbage. It reminds me of, it looks like a little person with a very, very tall hat. From the distance, that's just Mrs. Ludlow being a little bit crazy. So we've got, and I'm not going to tell you the answers to these. Okay, there's not many of them. And then when you get to the bottom of it, I'd like you to think of some examples of objects that we weigh, that are weighed. What is the object being weighed? So think about, when do we do weighing? What sort of things do we do? You can do lots of examples if you want to, or just one or two. What are the types of scales that can be used, because there's different types, and where are they used and when are they used? So there's some questions there just to keep you ticking over with your ideas, and your how would we use this? If we were in class, we would definitely be getting scales out today, and having a way of different things to get ourselves used to finding things that are a kilogram or 500 grams, so that we've got a sort of a really good sort of working maths example So if I said to you, you know, what's something that would weigh 100 grams? Well, you might say, oh, would that be about the oh, I don't know, would that be about the weight of a cup, for instance, or would it be the weight of 3 apples? So have a little think about that. Get yourselves a, you know, really good working sort of idea of how much is 100 grams and how much is a kilogram. Okay, ask permission if you're getting, you know, mum or dad's best weighing scales out, and try not to make a mess. That'd be good. So have a little go. You know, some real life maths as well today. If you do this really quickly, that would be my suggestion. Okay, so hope that goes well, and I shall speak to you soon. Bye for now.